the world, and he does seem to have the qualifications for becoming a genuine contender for the world title in a year or two's time. The time has come to move him out of the novice class and find opposition that will test him. Hence, last night's appearance at Wembley Arena of 34-year-old Scott Ledoux from America, who less than 3 years ago fought for the world heavyweight title against Larry Holmes and went 7 rounds with him. How would Bruno handle him? That was the question as the first bell sent them into action. And Wembley.
大家好，老师从业中医男科30余年，帮助了数千名海内外华人朋友通过中药调理重回男性雄风。如果你也存在房事时间短、勃起无力、硬度差、中途疲软、肾虚、前列腺炎等问题，现在就加中医老师微信574-993-200，纯中药，一人一方，治根治本，帮助你持续坚挺20至40分钟，补肾壮阳，延时助勃，彻底告别快男软男。记住微信574-993-200。
Training for this past week under the supervision of Floyd Patterson, the former world heavyweight champion, and Floyd is sitting right alongside me here at the ringside. How's he been shaping up in training, Floyd?
Well, there wasn't enough time to teach him too much. The two things that I did teach him is one on defense and one on offense. As far as defense is concerned, I told him to hold the left hand higher and the right hand higher, and throw a lot of straight left jabs. He used to telegraph his jab. Now, if you notice, he doesn't. I wanted to keep his hands higher because he was open for counter right hands and left hooks. But now, if you notice the way he's holding his hands, he's not open for those punches anymore. So those were the two main things that we worked on. But of course, he's fighting a very well-experienced fighter, Scott Ledoux, who has fought 5 champions. That's a lot of experience.
Well, we hope that Scott Ledoux won't be one of those opponents who fold up too fast.
I don't think so. I really don't think so. I'll be surprised if that happens.
Bruno conceding a few pounds in weight, 15 stone 9.5 Bruno, and Ledoux a massive 16 stone 2. Those 5 world champions that Ledoux's faced: George Foreman, Leon Spinks, Ken Norton, Mike Weaver, and of course Larry Holmes, the current WBC heavyweight champion. Ledoux comes here with 47 fights on his record. Against Bruno's 14. That's a good solid left jab. And over goes Ledoux at the end of the first round. And the bell comes, and the count will continue, but he's up on his feet. Well, there's a little example, Floyd, of what you were saying to me last week in Sports Night, that when he throws a punch, it does seem to carry some power.
I have to say one thing about him. He is a fantastic puncher. I think in years to come, once he learns how to throw that punch the right way, he's going to be one of the hardest punchers in the heavyweight division.
Round 2. So now, can Bruno achieve something really sensational here and stop this man quickly? What an amazing thing it will be if he does. Ledoux went 7 rounds with Larry Holmes. Got a draw with Ken Norton and Mike Weaver. And Bruno's big thumping jabs are taking him full in the face. Not much has gone right for Scott Ledoux in recent fights, and that seems to be true enough here. And he backs off. Ledoux struggling to maintain some sort of credibility here as a viable heavyweight on the world scene. I'll say this for Bruno Floyd, he didn't show any sign of nerves. I mean, this is the toughest opponent that he's had yet, but doesn't seem to be making much difference to him.
Yes, he just appears to be a bit tight, but that could be because he's very muscular.
Wow. Again, the left hand of Bruno's finds the target, and Ledoux feels it. You notice a fair bit of difference between a week ago when you came to see him first?
Yes, you see, the left jab is one of the main things that we worked on. Keeping the left hand up differently than the way he carried it previously.
And Ledoux complaining about the head. Larry O'Connell having a little quiet word with him, trying not to let this get out of hand. And Ledoux is stumbling all over the place. He doesn't quite know what to do about this. And there's some blood on Ledoux's face, and he may well be cut. And Ledoux's left eye is cut, in fact, at the end of the second round. He was put over at the end of the first, and now he's got eye trouble at the end of the second. And that may well have been done by the head, I suspect. Well,
quite possible, yeah.
But would you expect, Floyd, would you expect a young American heavyweight with the equivalent sort of experience to rough up Ledoux in this way?
Well, let me put it this way. Bruno is young, quite young. He's eager, he's hungry, he's almost like an animal in there. So the other gentleman, although he's had a lot more experience, he's not as hungry as he was originally, and he's a lot older, 34, I believe. So you got to consider that for one thing. Although I said earlier, as the fight progresses, experience and inexperience will show.
Second off, round 3.
And again, the big left of Bruno's goes straight in. Ledoux's left eye patched, but still looking red. There's some blood still there. And he looks to have quite a nasty cut above that left eye. Almost a vertical cut above it. It's in a dangerous place. So this fight barely started, and yet we've had quite our share of sensations already. Ledoux down, and now cut. And blood seeping from the cut again. And as Floyd Patterson was saying, the man is 34, and ambition probably is long since gone. And he's not struggling to win here, but struggling to survive. And that eye is looking quite nasty, and Larry O'Connell wants the blood wiped away so he can get a closer look at it. Bruno's gone to a neutral corner. And I think Larry O'Connell is saying he can't go on, and that is exactly what he's saying in the third round. Just under 2 minutes of round 3. Ledoux is pulled out of the fight by the referee with a bad cut. on his left eye, and Bruno has marked up win number 15 in his professional career.
5 seconds of round 3.
And this Wembley crowd disappointed that they didn't get more of a fight, beginning to boo. But Ledoux sportingly holds up Bruno's hand, and that makes 15 out of 15 for 21-year-old Frank Bruno, 13 years younger than his American opponent. Well, Floyd, you've had a look at Frank Bruno in training, now you've had a look at him in a fight. What's your opinion of his future now?
Well, I think he has a very bright future in front of him. Tonight, he showed me something he didn't show me in the gymnasium. Although we practiced it quite a bit the last boxing session, I didn't see it, but he kept his left hand a lot higher, and he threw a lot more left jabs than he did in the gymnasium, a lot more. Now, I told him that the jab would be the most effective punch with Scott Ledoux, and he listens. Therefore, I give him a very good chance of making it to the top. But one thing I want to express, he's got to come to America to get boxing. The sparring here is no good.
Wants to get some experience in those gyms where they have a lot of fighters who can't get fights.
Right. That's where he's got to get experience at with the good fighters. See, you only learn really when you box guys on your level or guys that are better than you. Then you really strive to get ahead. The kind of guys he's boxing, he's much better than they, and he doesn't learn anything. In fact, he gets careless with them.
But all the same, we've got a good young heavyweight prospect.
You have a very good prospect, yes. I would say certainly you have definitely a very good prospect.
Patterson's absolutely right, of course. There is only one place to learn the heavyweight trade. That's in the gyms of America, where tough heavyweights work out, desperate to get fights. That's where Frank Bruno will learn what the fight game is really all about. And by the way, Bruno tops the bill at the